Hello, how are you guys doing? Y'all doing all right this morning? I am just dragging today, dude. Like, I cannot get it today. Don't forget to ping. I did ping. I pinged before I actually had everything together. Also, where did my... There's my ring. Okay. At least I got that together. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know what my deal is today, but I just like, everything is taking like an hour to do. Like, my wife left to go to work. And she was like, hey, you know, there's a thing going down. I noticed it on the way to work or whatever. You should go check it out. So I went and checked it out, and it was neat. A little like whatever community event. But it took me like an hour to get there, and then like an hour to eat lunch. And the Discord does not have the funny little red dot. Did I not ping the Discord? I'm just a mess today, man. Not like in a like, oh, I'm depressed or sad or whatever. Just like a like, everything is taking way longer. But I did find out something. You didn't ping. You're right. I did not at the Discord. That is my bad. So I noticed something a little while back, and I didn't know why. And I just assumed it was because I was shit. But I found out an issue that I had. So for the last little bit, I've been just live streaming directly to YouTube, and that's where the VODs go, and that's fine. And I noticed that there was some changes in SEO and stuff. I don't know what's up with that. Also, I don't know why these are here. So let's go ahead and individually delete these. But anyway, yeah, you can delete that. That's not a real video. Okay, and then you can delete this as well. Is mourning unintentional? Oh, it's rad though. So yeah, I noticed that there were some issues with some of the VODs, and do you want to see what it is and how I got there? All right, let's take this hour long video. Should have monetization. It doesn't. Okay, so that's another thing, is like I was hitting the monetization thing and hitting the button wrong. And sometimes that's fine. Sometimes it monetizes it aggressively. Sometimes it's just once every now and then. I noticed that, yeah, I just copy paste the title over. So I just wanted to give a real quick public apology for trusting YouTube to monetize things correctly, because I would check the box that says monetize everything, right? So let me show you how I do it. All right, watch. Okay, let me get you a screen region. Okay, so cool. So here's Darkest Dungeon. This is from the 8th, right? So I can click a bunch. I'm only going to do one for the sake of this example, because I'm going to have to fix it and it would suck ass. Update types of ads, update locations of ads. All right, go ahead and just throw ads in there, whatever. You know, update. I understand the implications of this. Can't be stopped until it, you know, it's done. It's safe to navigate, but wait before making another bulk update. So let's go into Darkest Dungeon. Go into rights management. So it has been monetized in all countries. That's great. It's still loading this. It's going to be loading this for a bit. I really should do this like a cooking show where I have already done one. But yeah, I was hitting it like that anyway. And when it would monetize, what it was ending up doing was it was monetizing This is actually not that bad in comparison to some that I've seen. But in some examples, so what it tries to do is it tries to find breaks in my speech and breaks in the action. And it does this basically just by looking at the waveform, I think. But every single one of these is an ad break, right? So there's one 2 minutes into the video. I'm going to go ahead and delete them. So there's one 2 minutes into the video, 7 minutes into the video, 11 minutes into it, 17 minutes, 23, 29 minutes into the video. That's like a TV show that you've just watched worth of stuff. Let's get rid of the one at 38, 41, 47, 55, and 59. And I'll just leave an ad at the beginning and the end, and then there's one halfway through. That's fine. I like that. That's one every 30 minutes is fine. One, whatever, like 5 or 6 minutes is insane. And for the last little bit, I've been losing subs on After Hours, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. This is it. I'm pretty sure that this is what it was. Because that is annoying as shit, and it makes me look like a money-grubbing asshole on top of all the things. Because, yeah, if you can't watch the video, and also, it'll show you little yellow things on videos with ads. So, like, you will get to see that there's gonna be ads, like, every 5 or 6 minutes. And, like, my content is good, but it's not that good. I don't know as if there is content that's that good. It's why people have unsubscribed from, like, TV entirely, because it's just so many ads all of the time. Also, I should change the color on this because I look very pale. Not increase the brightness, just, like, change the color. There we go. Now I look healthy. That's good. 5 minutes of content, then like 2 minutes of ads, then another 5 minutes of content. That's bad, man. So anyway, that's why I only did it on one just now. But imagine if I did that on like a fuck ton of them. Like, click this, 30 selected. So, like, yeah, you can automate that, but it does it real fucking wrong. So we're going to have to go into each of these. Rights management, monetize in all countries, save. Some of these actually might already be done. So I've got to do a little bit of cleanup on this. Because, yeah, I think that one ad every 30 minutes for the first 2.5 hours... that's fine. Like, to me, that seems like a reasonable thing. Also, it'll always flick you to the wrong tab, so you have to, like, you know, go individually on each of these. Which is why I was doing it the lazy way, you know? Doing it where it was just like, just do all of them at once for me. Thank you, YouTube. Because this is fiddly as shit. This one's only like 39 minutes long. I'm just gonna remove all the mid ads. That's fine. Like 39 versus 30 minutes. Like, do you really want to watch an ad when there's like 9 minutes left in the video? Probably not. That sounds really annoying, actually. So let's just get rid of it. Rights management. Monetize in all countries. Next, I used some curse words in this. Save. As far as I know, there's no quick way of doing this. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, most people use ad block, but like ad block's been kind of fucky recently. So like, I get it. Can I activate ads during stream when I go to piss? I don't know how to do that on YouTube, which is the question, really. And like, yeah, you know, people use ad block. There's like a decent chunk of people that use ad block, but some people don't. And I think that can explain some things. So let's just like slowly go through each of these individual VODs and remove all the ads. So this is why it's like that, and I'm sorry. One ad halfway through is fine. Again, what do YouTube Premium users show up in your analytics? They show up as part of YouTube Red, I believe. And YouTube Red, there's a separate section in monetization that just goes, here's your cut of the YouTube Red money. And the way they do it is they go based on views of the platform entirely by people who use YouTube Red, and then you get some based on how much people using YouTube Red. Basically, it kind of partitions out like your watch time on different channels and gives that money, like that percentage of money, to the creator. And then YouTube obviously takes a cut. So yeah, I think that this explains some things. It makes me feel a little bit better about myself, because it turns out that like I haven't, you know, I'm not shit. It's just my videos were aggressively monetized. I mean, this is a 30-minute video. There's no reason there should be mid-roll ads. Like that's, and like if I could just make them where they were like banner ones where like no one gives a shit because you're not even gonna see them, whatever. How do you become eligible for subscriptions on YouTube, like money subscriptions? It should be set to be on. To do it, you need to go, and I believe it's, unless if they've changed things, it's what, 2,000 hours of watch time in the last like it's part of the monetization process. If you're already monetized, then you should be able to do it. This video is copyright claimed by this person. Mute the song, I guess, while it plays, and hopefully it just mutes the song, because this person is most likely not actually, I mean, like, I hate that the people who are doing covers or remixes get the same rights as like companies. What is the copyright claim on this one? This is why I just don't give a shit. Monetize. I've watched YouTube on Switch before. Yeah, let's just go ahead and throw an ad in the middle of a 20-minute video. Like, it's just not worth. So, like, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I just wanted people to be able to see, like, how that could happen, why it happened, and what I have to do to make sure it doesn't happen again. This is also like kind of something that I wanted to talk about today, which is my least favorite part of doing YouTube and art and all that jazz is almost always the bit that isn't actually doing like content. Well, like, yeah, so the thing is that these VODs are fucking massive. They probably, yeah, I would love it if there was like I would like a default setting for my ads, one every 30 minutes. Like, literally just make it so that way, like, and as far as I know, there's not a way to do that. There are ways to bootleg that, but they don't work as well as you would like. So let's go to one that I haven't done yet. So let's go to Mourning Coffee. All right. Also, my hair, god, dude, what the fuck? It is way too short. All right. So if I want to monetize, I believe there's an option. You still have to go through this. And like I cuss in every video, so I don't even check to see if I actually did in a video, because it's like chances are, like, have I cussed today? Maybe. I don't actually know. Like I feel so bad about this. All right, so add an ad break. Okay, I don't want it there. Place automatically is a lie. Yeah, I don't think that there's an option to do it. There used to be where you could, but I think that's like with thumbnails and, or not thumbnails, but other shit. But yeah, I mean, like, YouTube doesn't really care. They don't really understand what the content is. They're just like, you want ads? All right, cool. Ads on. So if you see one that's over monetized, like, comment on it and I will fix it. And I'm sorry, that's not me trying to do engagement. It's like I've done this for a minute and I'm not sure how far back this goes. Because, like, yeah. And I don't know why I trusted YouTube. I think it's because the depression was sitting in and I just was like, I want to automate as many parts of this process as possible so I don't actually have to, like, do this. Like, because, like, I would much rather be playing, like, I don't know, Helldivers or streaming or hanging out with my wife rather than sitting here and SEOing. And this is not even the full process of SEOing. This is just me getting the monetization stuff fixed. So we can put one here. That's fine. And then we're going to get rid of all the other ones. I mean, like, when ads start popping up on YouTube, it's going to be like the live stream days where people are going to get a copyright claim. What? Also, I think the fan is blowing directly into the mic. I'm sorry about that. Managing YouTube channels takes so much time, and I'm not making enough to make it so that way that I can pay someone to do that. It is just not a thing. You can't hear the fan. I turned it, so you shouldn't be able to hear it now, but I saw it blowing on the mic. So if you had headphones on, that was probably very annoying. I would love to hear what these songs are so I can know what the fuck I'm talking about here. I went ahead and muted the audio from the desktop so that way you guys can't hear it, but yeah, why don't we just... God, my hair looks awful. Okay, yeah, that is music. I don't know if these people are the right, like, I don't think it's the copyright, or I don't think it was Guilty Gear songs. It might have been. What is a pie hole? Like, is that like a Raspberry Pi kind of thing, or what? It's an ad blocker that runs on Pi. It's a network-wide ad blocker for Raspberry Pi. Oh, I see. So you just cannot get ads at all. Well, I mean, like, that's neat, but, like, really not what I'm trying to achieve right now. I'm trying to, you know, add ads, which is the opposite of that spectrum. And, like, I kind of just, like, put in as many as I do because I realize that, like, a lot of people are going to be using ad block, and this will be a small trickle of money. This is more just like, it's really not for day-to-day money. It's for, like, this will be set up for, like, a while to come. So like I'll have like, you know, a passive income from this. Last time I saw Get the Gear shouldn't, I don't know what that song was. It was from something. Like it did have like a like this is a real song kind of vibe. Was how that melody started. But yeah. Anyway. How's y'all's day been so far? This is what I'm going to be doing for, like, I'm just going to do this page, and I don't know as if I'll be able to go back and fix all of them. And I feel like I've already probably run off those people, because I feel like the people who are watching this, there's certain level of, like, what the fuck are you doing, Rev? You can't be like, oh, well, you know, you can't say that you're anti-capitalist, but then you run every ad in the goddamn world. Like, there's a little bit of cognitive dissonance there. I'm out running. That's a good thing to do. Ads and money do not directly correlate to capitalism. I mean, like, yes and no. I mean, ads are propaganda for products. Like, the product is never actually what they say it is in the ad. They're allowed to lie to you. But also, I have to pay rent. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't put ads in, because they suck. You know? It costs money, unfortunately, for me to be able to do what I do. Either through having to do, you know, buy games or pay for internet, pay for a place to stream from, because like when I was doing the when I was living out of the motel there for a minute because we didn't have a place to stay, I couldn't stream because the internet wasn't good enough, because you know, you just can't stream in those conditions. Like, there were people yelling and screaming and fighting next door, and then they were getting high on some real ass dank stuff. I like how I said stuff, because I was like, I'm gonna try and not cuss for 5 seconds, just because I'm already looking at like, hey, try not to cuss so much, says YouTube. And then I said ass. I don't know. Ass isn't a cuss, it's in the Bible. When I was teaching those kids in those reading classes, I remember saying damn once. And they all went, oh, Mr. Mullen. Mr. Mullen said a cuss word. They were like middle school. I'm like, no, just shut up, kid. It cost me my not really job. And then, like, think about, like, the things that I've said on stream. I'm just saying, like, I've said some heinous shit on stream. But I'm like, I want to do this, and I don't want to get kicked out. I did break the rules a couple times. I bought them tech decks. I said, look, here's the rules. There's 2 of them. No playing with them at school. I'm gonna give them to you. We never speak of this again. If you get caught, you're on your own. You don't say shit. You don't say a damn thing to anyone. Okay? Those are the rules. I'm gonna give them to you. You're just gonna take one. You're not gonna look at the design too much. If you guys want to trade later, do that privately, but don't get caught. And they're like, okay. I'm like, this is because you guys have been doing real good. Okay? And then we passed it, like I passed those tech decks out like we were doing like a mobster drug deal. I was just like, just slide this shit on over. Just real, like. And then they were both like, I don't know. Like, here's the deal. Like, those kids are living hard lives. The kids that I was teaching, we're living in real rough, like, monetary situations. You know? I don't know when or where they would get tech decks. Let's put it that way. Those kids deserve to have tech decks, because tech decks are fucking rad. You know? They're also cheap as hell. You know? I went to, like, Target or something, picked some up. Like, they don't cost that much. Like, a pack of tech decks. Because I got, like, one of those packs that has, like, 4 or 5, and they're all, like, the same design. Yeah. So here's, like, there's, like, a versus set here. You get 2 for 20. So it's, like, $10 to me, which is, like, with adult money, like, $20 is not that much. But kids? Like, $20 is a lot for a kid. And they're cool as hell. Like, I still was playing with mine when I still had it. I threw it out because the wheels fell off when I was, like, 30-something recently. Like, before we moved. Like, I would, like, fiddle with it on my desk. Because it's, like, cool little thing. I could do little jumps with it. Not really, you know? Like, everyone. Like, theoretically, I could ollie. But you can get them from, like, Target or Walmart or whatever. You're supposed to replace the wheels, though? Yeah, it was another thing to have to transfer here. They're falling apart on me, and it was just like, am I ever actually going to replace the wheels and all that jazz? Like, probably not. Like, there's so many little things like that I just got rid of when I moved. Because, like, there was so much just random crap that I'm not actually going to go through the trouble of doing. The tech decks are slightly too big for Warhammer figures. Just as an aside. Are you mourning someone? I did a typo, but it's properly goth, so I guess it's fine and it can stay. But yeah. So I mean, like, this morning I saw my wife off. I had some toast. Had some more toast just a minute ago because we basically have toast in the fridge, and I didn't want to waste any more time getting ready to go live. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and top off my coffee. Oh, that's really sad. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get some more coffee in me, and then we can we can come back to this, and then I need to do some art. I did a little bit of work on it yesterday while we were off stream, and I feel like I progressed more, and I think part of it is just like listening to the stuff that I like to listen to. Yesterday I think I was listening to some stuff about Warhammer meta stuff, and then I was listening to this story about aliens coming to Earth and invading kind of thing, and it was just like, it was an okay story. It wasn't that good, but I like my little like modern takes on those real like cheapo quarter sci-fi books. Like, those are pretty good. Like the old school ones, like the actual old school ones, are sometimes like, bruh. Pulp novels. Yeah, I love me some pulp fiction. But like the pulp novels that are actually like the old school ones sometimes have some, they haven't aged well. Especially the ones where they go out into the wild and adventure. Like when they go out to adventure into like the wilds and then they come across a tribe, it's like, oh my god, please stop. Oh, right. And then I set up a thing with Kofi, a bot that will every 30 minutes post a link to my Kofi on both Twitch and YouTube. So apologies if it's real spammy. It's set to 30 minutes right now, so it should be fine. But that'll link right to my Kofi. And that is a better percentage cut. That is the best percentage cut. It'll also tell me when people donate to it, which is good as well. So yeah, the cut on Kofi is 0% to Kofi, up to 5% to Kofi, depending on what exactly you're doing. Did you see that people extracted the models for the Lion Dancer boss and it's just two guys with bags on their heads? I mean, yeah, that is exactly what I expected it to be. Opinion on Catch-22, the concept or the book? I found the book a little slow. I tried reading it once. I think I probably should like listen to it as an audiobook. That would probably be pretty good. My wife has started reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and she said it's pretty good. She had a hard time. She said she was having a hard time expressing why it was good in a way that made it sound not like boomer crap. But it's kind of like a Buddhist thing where it's like, you got to realize that just crap happens sometimes. You just, you know, like the Serenity Prayer if you're Christian, except for not. Sometimes you just got to like, okay, yeah, no, this sucks. And like, that's a good mindset to some degree. Sometimes shit does just suck. And it's just like, okay. It just sucks. It's fine. And sometimes things are just okay. But more importantly, it's to realize when you can actually do something about that situation, do something about it. I don't like going with the flow either. I'm not very good at that. What is this a link to? Oh, it's just two dudes with bags on their heads. Yeah, they don't even really have like fully modeled bags. Interesting. I mean, yeah, that is pretty much what I expected it to be. It's kind of wild that he has a cutscene, but like some bosses that are actually apparently important do not. I mean, he's a cool boss. I really liked that boss. I'm not going to show it on screen just that way I don't spoil anything for anyone, but that boss was very cool. Moon Knight doesn't. Say Gex boss. Hey! I just got a, oh, I set up a notification thing on, Kofi as well. So it didn't... There we go. New donation from Luigi Guy. 1% of the goal there. It doesn't say how much you did, but I can click on the thing here. Teehee, have a good weekend. Thank you, Luigi Guy. And I have no idea. It doesn't tell me how much it is, though. I'll do my best to actually thank people for Ko-fi donations now. View details. Oh, there we go. Thank you for the $5. And it seems to work. Oh, and apparently I set the goal at 2 million to make me wear a cat maid outfit. So that's cool. Yeah, because if it posted the actual message, it could be, it might be a bit too spammy for YouTube. So the YouTube chat one didn't give me the option to choose how often it showed up, which is interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and top off my coffee real quick, and then we'll come back and do some art or something. I think I'll just finish 2 of the paintings, so that way I have, like, paintings done. But I think that what I need to do as well is a small price to get Rev to say, meow, may I perv you? Yeah, so the perv thing does not work, because that sounds like I'm asking about something else entirely. Spaghetto, thank you for the, okay, so that notification thing is, okay. I will say, it having a little doo-doo-doo, that actually might be annoying. Let me maybe turn that off. But just it popping up in, like, if it doesn't make a sound, that would be good. Thank you for the $5, Spaghetto. I don't know how to do that, though. Settings. Settings. Windows noise. Yeah, it's really the Windows noise that's the problem. Because it's coming through on Firefox. Because I gave it permission to send me notifications. I have no idea how to change that. Uh-oh. Maybe if I go to... Oh, okay. Allowed. So I took its permissions away. You can mute the Windows sound from the notification via the sound mixer. Oh, right. I mean, I do like when it goes, something's very wrong with your computer. That's good. Not that I'd know anything about how to fix it, but there it is. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get some more coffee. Like I said, I'm just dragging my feet today, so I will be right back. Give me 2 minutes, and then we're gonna do... Oh my god, why is COVID trending? Because I was just wandering around without a mask on, and oh, we're just complaining about the president. Okay, that's fine, whatever. That's fine. Okay, yeah, give me a minute. I'll be right back. There is also a COVID spike, so safe. Okay. Because I've been walking around without, like, a mask on. Because I live in a town where, like, I've seen everyone's face at this point. Like, I've lived here for 3 months and I know everyone. Not necessarily by name, but I know everyone. So I'm like, chances are I'm not actually going to run into, like, and, like, I don't know. My mother-in-law still does not treat COVID like a thing. And because my mother-in-law does not treat COVID like a real thing, and she lives in a small town and did not get COVID, like she's anti, like, she didn't want to get the jab, she doesn't wear masks, she doesn't socially distance, any of that, and she still somehow didn't get COVID. I'm like, if I live in an equally small or smaller town, I'm probably safe. It was really just Austin that I felt like, this is a, like bustling major city with an international airport. Like, COVID was everywhere. It's a bit different here. Tanny, you are a champ for doing that. 100%. Not going to say anything against that because, like, you are 100% right. But anytime I get sick from here on out, like if I get a cold or something, I'm going to wear a mask because that's basic, like, care. I've got a doctor's appointment, just like a checkup thing, next month. When I go and do that, I'm going to wear a mask because you know who goes to the hospital? Sick and vulnerable people. I could get sick because there are sick people there. So, like, yeah, wearing a mask is in public is basic respect to others. If you're sick, you should wear a mask. If you are going to a place where there are sick people, or you're going to wear a mask so you don't drag that shit with you. I don't see any problem with that. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get coffee. BRB. Yeah. I am back. Welcome back, everyone. I think I got my timing down. Okay, so like masks don't need to be worn outside. That if you go out into the wilderness and there's no people there, you don't need to wear a mask. It's all about density of people. Like the number of people per square mile, per square foot, whatever, is really the determining factor, and less about inside outside. The thing about outside is you generally are farther apart than inside. Also, the air is recycled inside, so like outside is safer, but which is why COVID hits really bad in the winter, right? And spring and summer and yeah. You bring that shit inside, and it's a problem. I'm wearing a mask on my groin. I don't know if that does anything for you. What happened to the vaccines cause autism crowd? I feel like I should be autistic if that's the case, because I've had several vaccines. anti-vax is like climate change. I mean, technically it is climate change as well, because like we're setting up situations where diseases can be stronger and more virulent, and killing off like things that would be barriers to that by increasing the heat of the planet and such. But I get what you're saying as well. Dude, I watched this awful thing. I have to tell you guys about this because this was did you know Twitter is trying to run a Family Guy like show? I watched the pilot because I wanted to see how bad it was. The New Norm is the name of it. The guys, so the bit is that it's sort of like was it Family Manners? What was the one with the real racist guy? Not Family Matters. All in the Family. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so what if All in the Family, but like Archie Bunker was right? You know? We should draw LGBT positive fan art of them. Well, they do have a non-binary character who's part of a secret cabal from the government to try and trick the daughter into falling in love with them. Yeah, it's the bit that I really want to know about this show, like it's unsurprisingly very like transphobic and such. Like, yeah, it's got Dave Rubin in it, who's a shithead. It's got Elon Musk in it, who is also a shithead. What I want to know is like, how much do people think that this is like similar to reality? Because that's like how jokes work, right? Like, the thing about jokes is that like, for a good joke to hit, is that like it has an element of truth in it, right? Like when like that's what makes jokes funny. Like there's a joke about I forgot the name of the comedian, but he was like, I was standing at a club and I was standing right next to the fire exit door, and the one of the bouncers came over and you can't stand there, sir. Why not? Oh, well, in case if there's a fire, like you're in the way. And the guy's like, well, if there was a fire, I'd be the first one out that door. Like, I told the joke horribly, but like, there's an element of truth to it. Like, it makes sense. Right? Mitch Heidberg, thank you. So like that one is good. If you are flammable and have legs, you are never blocking a fire exit. That's the thing. That's the joke, and it's funny, right? Because it makes sense. And like, there's an element to the story where it's just like, yes, I could believe a bouncer would come up to him in a at a bar and tell him to move, right? I could see that being a thing. So what I'm trying to say is that with this show, The New Norm, for it to be considered funny, which I'm not actually sure if even conservatives find it funny or not. I found out about it because Salty Dan was making fun of a guy, ex-cop, who could not get a date on a show because one of the women was like, look, I feel like there's a line that's here that I don't want to cross as a black woman. I don't want to. And it's like, that's hilarious that he couldn't get a date because he was a cop. But anyway, they I wonder if this show, The New Norm, is actually how people like see the world. Like, do people actually think that this is what's going on? Like, given politics, yes. Because, like, I mean, obviously it's a comedy show, so it's not meant to one-to-one. Reality, but it's similar enough, right? Like, it's honestly not that bad, but like, I mean, it's bad. There was a joke that was like, okay, that was pretty okay, where like one of the characters is like, oh, you know, so and so's son is going to become trans, and it's like, well, that's okay as long as he's not a Jets fan. It's like, okay, it's boomer humor, but that one works, man. That works. Like, I swear to fuck, if you become a Jets fan, like that I was like, all right. And a special appearance by an animated Elon Musk, which is very specific because Elon likely didn't approve of or lent his actual voice to the show. Yeah, he just sort of shows up at one point. It reminds me of the episode of That 70s Show where Red Foreman had gay neighbors and he was cool with it until they came to say that they were Vikings fans. Right. It's like a nothing show, but it just really got me thinking about, like, is this how conservatives actually see things? Where, like, trans people are fucking everywhere, and, like, it's this huge problem that, like, they're everywhere and they're corrupting our kids and all that. Like, that sounds like a talking point that I've heard before. I'm not going to play it because A, I don't want to get copyright claimed, and B, I don't want to get banned from Twitch for that. Like, I don't want to be banned from Twitch for transphobia for like a couple of days because I played some shit. Like, I think to some degree they actually believe that, but like, what percentage of Americans are trans? And Pew Research says 5%. I think that's really high. About 1.14% of the nation's adult population identifies as trans, according to USA Facts. I don't know how accurate this website is. Another 1.5 do not identify as male or female or trans. But yeah, I mean, like, there's probably some that I would imagine that percentage is actually fairly low. Like, it's still probably not that much, but 5% might actually be real. Like, I could see that, where it's like 5% if like you don't have to give your name or anything on the form. Like, how many people are closeted that? Do I know about the Golden Girls? Yeah, my wife really loves that show. I haven't watched it, but it's pretty based. It's about like it's like Sex in the City for old people. And I think a lot of like, you know, this Gen Z and whatever we're calling the generation after Gen Z, they I think that they're more likely to identify as trans or non-binary or something, because it is like more acceptable now, despite the fact that there are like comedy shows saying that it sucks or whatever. Like, it's more acceptable now than it was when I was growing up. Like, I think I know one of the kids that I grew up with is trans now. I want to say another one is, but I haven't spoken to them in a while, so I don't want to claim that they are without knowing. But it seems consistent. And it's entirely possible that that's the case. So I mean, like, out of a homeschooling group of like 10 people, two or so, maybe one or two being trans. I mean, like, also you're self-selecting to I feel like that also is like we've got like definitely people who are on the fringes of society who are being homeschooled. So yeah, let's, you know, they're going to be weirdos like me, and people who didn't get along well in school because they got bullied because of the way they are, because of the way they act, because of you know, the things that they're interested in, because of their learning disabilities, whatever. Like, that almost seems like a self-selection process for finding people who could be gay or trans to some degree. Some of them do it because they are, you know, not getting a religious enough education, or whatever, especially down in Texas. So, like, you know, I think that that's probably self-selection to some degree. I think that my generation probably doesn't get on the ball about being trans until right about now, just because it is like acceptable. Whereas, you know, Gen Alpha and Gen Z maybe figured out. And I think that, you know, we probably lost a couple of millennials. We definitely lost a few millennials before it became more acceptable to be trans or gay or whatever. So, I don't know. I think that the world is in a better place, all things considered, as far as that goes. Like, I know things that are scary now, but like, there's not just like a latent aura of homophobia and transphobia. Because someone got banned from Twitch very recently for saying something that I had said in the past that is transphobic, but like we didn't know back then. We didn't talk about gender at all. It's still something I'm wrapping my head around, but we are advancing, and I think that's part of the reason that you're getting stuff like the New Norm show coming on, is because if you want things to stay a certain way and then things change, it feels like a lot. And especially if you know, if you're coming from a place that any change is bad, yeah, advancing with haters clawing at our backs. The term that he got banned for is the one that refers to trans people with a Y, and it's 5 letters long. Progress on transphobia is pretty slim. I feel like you can put a poster out that says trans rights. You can have a gay or a trans flag just out for no reason, not even part of trans, like, or, you know, Pride Month or anything, and people are chill with it, you know? Like, I don't think so. Take the first 4 letters of trans and replace the S with a Y. That's the one the guy that banned for. Oh, there's 2 N's. Okay. And then transsexual, I think, is just out of vogue now. I've been thinking about femboys. That's a sentence. I've been thinking about femboys and how it's a different expression of gender. And how... Because, like, there's always, like, femboys and shit trending on Twitter. Oh, your mechanic does refer to it as that. Are femboys a separate gender or just a different way of expressing men or masculinity? It's more of an expression than anything. I want to say it's almost like its own separate gender. That's an expression of femboy is a lifestyle. Addendum question. Trans mask femboys can exist, right? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you got tomboys and you got femboys. I feel like it's 2 sides of the same coin, isn't it? The tomboys are like, yeah. So, like, I think that you can be a femboy and straight. Because I don't think that there's anything about being a femboy necessarily that makes you gay. I think that just, you know, the expectation is being, once upon a time is known as being metrosexual. I think that it's different, though. I mean, it's not my cup of tea because I don't like, I'm like not metrosexual at all. Does this count for my gender studies credits? Like, I trim out my beard because I have a beard and I don't want to look like a mess. I don't want to look like a goblin. Even if I am one, I want to look like, you know, someone who has their shit together to some degree. So that way when I go out in public, people don't, like, avert their gaze at the awful. But, like, I you know, put on deodorant. I clean myself up. You know, but, like, hey, Doomsday Dingo, thank you for the 2 years of support. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I like dressing like a villain, but acting like an angel. It has been a mindset of mine consistently for years that I can be scary and intimidating when I want, but I just don't turn on that ability. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, I can be scary enough that if someone's causing some bullshit, I can just like square up. But, you know, if a kid's scared and can't find his mom, I can also be there for that, you know? That's like the goth punk vibe. I think so, yeah. Sounds like something a 15-year-old say. Yeah, I mean, like the whole like look like a devil, act like an angel kind of thing. Definitely, but yeah. Rev is a biker without a bike. All right, yeah, I feel like I'm a little too weedy for that, like a little bit too noodly, but sure. When I went out like earlier, I was talking to some people and they're asking if I was gonna buy a bike, and I don't know. It's really weird right now because like we don't have a car, and I always have to say because we don't feel like we need it. There's this expectation that the reason that we don't own a car is because we're broke, but like legitimately everything is like close enough for us to walk. We live in a functionally walkable city. There are sidewalks that don't like suck. They make a reasonable amount of sense. So like there's not really a reason to have a car, and it's expensive to own a car. It's expensive to keep up with a car. I don't have to maintain it. I don't have to clear it off when snow comes. Like, I don't really like the crosswalk buttons around here. I do, however, like that it does cause me to just run into random people. Like, there are random people on the street. I was wearing, you know, that I've got a couple shirts. Yeah, I mean, like, the people in Maine cannot understand how, like, walkable this area is. Like, in Texas, where I was living, I could walk to the grocery store because we lived across the street from it. But if I wanted to walk anywhere else, I would have to cross over a major highway, like one of the major arteries for the city and the state, in order to go to do anything. If I wanted to go and really do anything outside of buy food or go to a bar, which really limited my ability to go do shit. I want to say that Mopac was like I want to say it's like 4 lanes in both directions with a fast lane on both sides. So it's like 10 lanes total. Going at bare minimum, I want to say 65. So I don't know what 65 is in kilometers. 104 kilometers per hour. Not having to deal with that shit is pretty cool. There were sections of that road that went up to 128 kilometers per hour. Call it 130, really. Or 80 miles an hour if you're American. Yeah, there's a, I forget exactly what the ratio is, but the parking lots have to have a certain number of parking spots per, like, square footage of the store or something weird like that. Does your place have any good public transit? Yeah, I mean, like, there's public transit here. There are trains, because, like, living on the East Coast means that they still have train lines, because they just upkeep them. They don't have to build new ones. I have not ridden the train, but there are trains about, which is awesome. So, like, okay, Amtrak apparently does not upkeep shit. But my point is that I don't have to own a car here in comparison. I can walk to a majority of the places that I'd want to. And, like, if you want, Like, if you want to go and, I don't know, if I want to go get some food, there's like a bunch of different places that I could walk to. They're all like affordable and different genres of food. Back when I lived in Austin, there was one bar that I could go to, and it was fine. It reminded me a lot of the bar in My Summer Car. It was like not much of a bar. The food wasn't that great. I would listen to the My Summer Car track or soundtrack while I was walking over there. I don't think that Europeans, really understand how unwalkable US cities are. Like, you can live within 15 minutes of a park and not be able to walk to it. Like, that is 100% real. Like, because either the sidewalk runs out, or you'll have something like, you have the easements like so. Here, let me pull up the main screen. So let's say you have a road, right? We've got a road. Here's the road. And you've got the little like dashy bits in the middle. I should probably fill this in. All right. So then you've got like the center line or whatever. And it comes down like here. Wow. Happy Pride Month. I cannot draw a straight line. All right. So anyway, you got a road. This is just going to be a section of the road. The sidewalks will do this thing. And I don't think that even Americans notice this. But let's say you actually have sidewalks and it's one way going both ways. There are two types of roads in the United States, and one is like this, where you have the poles, right? You've got your telephone poles right up to the edge of the curb, right? The other design is like this, where the telephone pole is on the same side as whatever building is right here. So let's say there's a building right here, right? You got a building right here. These are two very different sidewalks. And the intention here is that if your car was going out of control on this street, this situation up here, with the blue X, you would have to like make a control, like you would have to stop your car somewhere on the street. However, if the telephone poles are off to the side towards the buildings like this, the intention is that the car is going to use this as the runoff point. So like basically, like if you lose control out of your vehicle on this street, you need to like just stop it somewhere in the street. If you're on this side, however, with the telephones like this, your intention, like what the designers of this section of the road intend, is for you to drive onto the sidewalk to regain control. So next time you're out walking around, check and see where your like telephone poles are. Like, if they're closer to the building, I mean, the idea is that you're not going to hit the telephone pole. You can go through here. Here you have to go like this, and there's probably another telephone pole like there or something. Couple other issues that exist in America. You can have a situation like this. Let's just say like this is maybe, instead of like, I don't know, this looks like it's probably like 20 feet or something. Let's say this is like a mile, right? So like you could have a situation where it's like there's a crosswalk, but it's all the way down here. And you are here, but you're trying to get here. This sucks, because if this is like a mile, you're gonna have to walk a mile down, cross the street, a mile back. That is what's intended. That is not going to happen. No one's fucking doing that. People are absolutely gonna jaywalk here. They're absolutely just going to ignore this entirely. And while you're supposed to lead ways, like, you know, if you start crossing, cars are supposed to stop for you. So crosswalks are that rare on longer roads? They can be. You know, in a city, you might get one every corner. Maybe. You also will have situations where just like halfway through a sidewalk, there will just be like, the sidewalk will just stop. And if you are not able to, like, this is grass. Usually it's like rubble and grass and just like random shit from the road that got thrown over there. You will, if you have to use a wheelchair, this road is inaccessible to you. Like, you can't. This is how roads are made in America. Especially in like where I was in Texas, where it was just like you couldn't cross the road there. That was just not an option. I mean, now that I don't live there, I can show you guys. Okay, let me go into a private window so I don't accidentally dox myself right now. Google Maps. All right, so this is like the area I used to live in. Right? Not actually sure where we are on this road. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is where I used to live. So this road is actually pretty safe because we do have like an area for the bikes, but it's kind of stupid because up here, this just does whatever the fuck this shit is. This sidewalk is not flat, by the way. Oh, and that one time that I fell on my skateboard was in that parking lot right there. I tripped. There was some gravel here, and then the skateboard like ran off into the street here, and luckily no one hit it. But yeah. Let's see. But yeah, here we go. Here's got a section where there's just like, what the fuck is this? Why does the sidewalk end here? There's just no sidewalk from here. And this is like not that bad. Like you can definitely see that people have worn a trail in. But like this is incredibly normal for American cities to just not have sidewalk for sections of it. So like yeah, if you're, you know, you can't move. Like if you've got, you know, you're wheelchair bound or something, you can't do it. Yeah, it's a fairly typical like American sidewalk. I wouldn't even say that that's that extreme. But But yeah, if I wanted to go somewhere, there's a bar down that way. I lived on this street here. But if I wanted to go to like the city proper, I would walk down this street. This is a bike lane. It's also a turning lane, by the way. This turning lane is also a bike lane. So that's cool. So then there was also like, again, there's like an idea of a sidewalk here, but then they didn't do it. You can take your bike this way, and then there's like a bike trail over there. I saw it. Thank you for the I feel like I've seen this shit before. That's something you do on accident in City Skylines. Yeah, that feels like it's some regulation thing. Oh, I didn't want to go under here. Well, anyway, here's Mopac. So there's a turning lane there. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fast lane. If you spend some extra money, you can get in the fast lane, and it goes 80, I think. Whereas this is like 60. And then you've got another 4 plus the speeding lane, and then a little bit of easement in case if you go out of control. Not a carpool lane? God, no. We don't do carpool lanes in Texas. The fuck is wrong with you? So anyway, if I wanted to go anywhere that wasn't that bar, so there's that street corner where I used to live, right? You'd walk all the way this way. Can we go up on the road? What is happening here? We gotta just do this for a second. Big rigs ass bridge. I mean, this is just how bridges are made in Texas. This was probably done around like noon based on the traffic. I mean, yeah, this is very normal. Like the aesthetic of it is different, but this is something you would see in America 100%. So anyway, my street corner was over there. You'd walk down this sidewalk, and then you could walk on like this part here, I guess. So this is the access road. This takes you onto the highway. So you'd walk onto the shoulder of that. So people are gonna have to like speed up to make it to the speed limit here. Now we're hitting like 5 o'clock traffic or so. So I would be walking on, like the idea would be if I wanted to go somewhere, I would just walk on the shoulder here of this 5-lane road, and then I could walk up this exit. And then I could head this away. Like, do you see how fucking far you have to go and like what the conditions are? Like you can't walk this. Now there's a sidewalk here, so let's see what it looks like if you go the other way around, right? By the way, if you go all the way that way, you eventually get to like it's probably like an extra mile or two. You can get to a Guitar Center and a board game store. So yeah, is there a sidewalk on this side? No. Sort of? Sort of? Like, you could take this sidewalk, I guess, but, like, then when you get here, I guess you go around this way? So, yeah, you could use this sidewalk, I guess. Let's see if there's any breaks in the sidewalk along the way. I think there's not. But also, just like, fucking hell. And again, notice how far the telephone poles are from the street. This is indicating that if you're out of control, you're meant to drive up onto the sidewalk. Yeah, I think the sidewalk actually does go all the way. But yeah, basically my point is that I would not fucking do this. Like, so yeah, we had to have a car when we lived in Austin, right? Here we don't have to. Here they don't build roads like this. So like, we don't have a car now. Because this doesn't make sense to try and walk. It's also 100 degrees out, which, like, 37 degrees, 38 degrees Celsius. Just casually walk with no shade. That's another thing. There is a severe lack of shade in this entire strip. They took out all the trees that are near the thing. So, like, just walk, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles. And then maybe you can play a pickup game of Warhammer if you bring all your stuff. Look at what they did to my boy. Look at this fucking tree here. They just... Fuck you, tree. Power lines coming through. You could get an e-bike or something. I'm just saying, like, fucking hell. There's also a lot of hills here. And this just sucks to walk. There's also a lot of construction because it's Austin. Look at the top of his head. I have no idea what we're talking about. Also, that flag is massive, by the way. Like, these flags here, like, they're miles away. Just so you know. Because that's how Texas works. Just want to show how fucking big these flags are. And we can stop looking at my, like, we're still not at him. There we go. Like, compare this thing to the size of this Jeep. There's another flag like that over there. But yeah, this is where I used to live. And it was not a situation where you could walk. Not anywhere useful. Which was really fucking with my brain for a bit because I was not getting out and going and doing shit. So now I can just go anywhere and do anything. And if it's too far, I just take an Uber. Which would have been an option as well back then, but also, like, there are very few places that we need an Uber for at this point. So that's why we don't wait, you guys don't call them robots. I have no idea what you're referring to. That link gore, yeah. I'm curious to know what we put over our roads. Traffic lights? Like the thing that like goes red, yellow, or green to let you know to go across. Like now is your time, you're allowed to go. So I guess I should say thank you because like I was very fortunate that you guys exist because it gave us the option to like actually move here. Like there was like time that we could spend where Tilda could go find a job and I could continue to do this thing to some degree. And once she found a job, like we are able to like, you know, get this place and stuff like that. So like looking back, like, man, this is a great situation. We're a lot happier here. Like we're still saying that every now and then. We're just like, I'm glad we live here. This place is great. I mean, we got lucky because like the housing situation up in Maine is ridiculous. And there's a reason that homelessness is such a problem. It's because this is where people get their second and third and fourth house for summer. And that is fucking insane. But you know, here we are. Should probably do some painting. Yeah, it probably would not be that hard for me to go see Mike and Vinny. And I told Mike, like, hey, you let me know and, like, we can hang out, man. You just come on over. I haven't given him my new address yet, so he doesn't know exactly where I am. But, like, he could legitimately just hang out for a weekend or something. Most of our traffic lights are on street corners, but the fancy places, the can never be over the road like an archway. We would never see that. Yeah, no, we do that on like every single street corner here. Like to have the traffic things. Like Americans in chat confirm. How many times have you seen a traffic light that hangs over the intersection? As opposed to being on the street corner. Like, it's like all of them, right? Every single one, all the time, everywhere. Like, literally every corner. Like, it's incomprehensible to me that other places don't do it that way. Let me put it that way. Like, that is just a thing here in America, that we just put those over. I've never seen... I think I've maybe seen, like, one or two, and it was weird. I love when they're hanging precariously on those little wires. They feel... Do you have any idea how big the traffic lights are? Like, you think they're like this big, right? They're fucking not. They're massive. Like, they're huge. And yeah, they'll just sort of like hang them over roads like that. That's normal. You hang on here, all the different little like signs and shit you need to let people know, hey, this is the road you're on or whatever. Can we watch some technology connections? Well, I do need to do a little bit of painting. My favorite thing about traffic lights is that when they don't work, they just flash red, and it always confuses me. In the United States, they flash, and that means you should be treating this downed traffic light as a stop sign until we get someone out to fix it. So just whoever got to the thing first goes first, then it goes around to the person on the right in a circle. Or flash yellow, either way. What in the fuck is that? What is this shit? What is this? What is this ugly ass shit you sent me? In the UK, they go black to show they're out of power. I mean, like, they will go black if they run out of power, or like if the cable gets cut or something. But like, you know, if it's flashing red, that's what you're supposed to do. Is you're supposed to treat it as a stoplight. What kind of fluid goes through there? I mean, maybe it's being... Oh my god, can you imagine if that was a sewer line? Oh my god, what if that fucking broke? Oh. Oh no. I don't think it's much of a deterrent from people hitting it. People are like, oh man, I was gonna hit that traffic pole, but now that I know that it's full of actual human shit, I guess I won't. Like, you have some nice teeth, thank you. I've got a chip tooth on this side that I've got like a partial false. I fell. It was snowing, or it wasn't snowing, it was icing in Texas when I was a kid. And I fell face first into the sidewalk and chipped my tooth. It's not that bad. You can't even tell. But yeah. Six lanes of traffic. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Tooth fairy's coming. All right. I mean, I don't have any teeth to give up. I gave up my wisdom teeth, so I'm good on that. Yeah, it's not really my fault. So yeah, that's why I've got the whole bit there. And it's actually like it you can't tell from a distance that I've got that. I think that like people need to get out of the mindset of like cars and more lanes will solve traffic problems. It really is like we just got to build like infrastructure that allows people to use alternative stuff. And then it's like, yeah, you could walk, or you could drive, and that sucks. Why not just walk instead? And that's kind of the situation here where we live. Is it's like, I don't know where the fuck you park if you go to town. Like, there's just not enough parking. So it's like, I could park, but like, we rented a car for a bit when we first moved up here, and it was like prohibitively a problem to try and get to places to check them out. Yeah, that sounds about right. Can't really walk anywhere, just a gas station, a liquor store, and a pizza place. A lot of places are like that. I think a majority of American places are, you can go to a gas station, a restaurant, and then like a liquor store or something. And a lot of people are you know, self-interested to the point that they're like, okay, yeah, I would like it if there was less people on the road, but I want to be one of the people on the road. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that it is just not feasible to walk for the reasons I just showed. Apparently, the huge pipes are referred to as monotubes in their experimental anti-hurricane efforts. Checks out. That actually makes sense, because like the regular ones would just get knocked over 100%. They look ugly as sin, though. I feel like you probably could have gotten someone to do some art there. It's like, make that better. I'm really sorry you had to go through that, Rachel. That's rough. I'm glad that you're coming out the other end of it. Someone was asking me the other day of like, hey, I'm thinking about moving out of state. Like, do you have any tips? And I'm just like, dude, don't do what we did. What we did was absolutely insane. We just went for it and hoped that things would work out. And if it didn't, we were fucked anyway, so whatever. I mean, hurricanes also will like let you know they're coming. Tornadoes just kind of pop out of nowhere, which is kind of what makes them different. Is like hurricanes, theoretically, you could leave because you could see them coming, but theoretically, please put art on all the ugly buildings. I think that's just one of the reasons that I really enjoy graffiti, because I mean, like, when was the last time you went to a gallery show or a museum or something like that? There's going to be like 2 people in chat that said, oh, I went yesterday or something. But like a majority of people don't. They don't have time for that shit, and they don't have the money for that shit, and they don't know where or when that would be even happening. But graffiti or just art that's put on the side of buildings is, you know, for everyone to enjoy, assuming that is actually well done, which, I mean, you know. Street art is great. I like commission stuff because they can actually get a little bit of like time. Would you sign a law where every ugly building has beautiful art on it, but the trade-off is every beautiful building has ugly art on it? I mean, like, we also need to decide what ugly and beautiful mean. You know, like, the people who like invented the brutalist architecture thing, the idea was that it would be, you know, smart. It would be clean. NFTs painted on. There was a place in Austin that I used to get gummies from, that they had a one of those apes on it. It's Happy Clouds. I went there like once and they had no idea what they were talking about. Brutalism is like a cool like genre. I've seen a lot of people talk about like solar punk as a thing. As like a way of saving the world. And a lot of it just seems like jerking off to it. Do you have executive malfunction? Yes. That's like the worst part of ADHD for me, is like I said I was gonna go paint. I want to go paint. I love painting. It's all set up behind me. All I gotta do is plug in the HDMI cable and just go, hey, we're gonna paint now. Haven't done it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Then I'll be right back. And then we're gonna go paint. That's what executive malfunction is, I want to go do a thing, or I need to go do a thing, but I can't. Because I just got wrapped up in talking about architecture for like an hour or something. I'll be right back, 2 minutes. Music. Yeah, we can listen to this one, sure, why not? I am back. Welcome back, everybody. Standard rev stream. I don't even remember how we got from Conservative Family Guy to... I think it's because I was talking about that I actually had ended up... Getting rid of huge batteries sucks because you have to pay to dispose them. Oh no, you just throw that in the ocean. It's not so much that I have a problem managing big projects, it's more that the way I do big projects is very weird. Like, I didn't bring my sketchbook up with me, but if you want to see what the notes for, like, I don't know, the Town of Nowhere or March of the Mice look like, it's like I barely wrote anything down. I was just like, I knew generally speaking like what the story beats were and what the characters are like, but there's like next to no notes. Like, planning stuff, the way I plan stuff is very weird.
You are a very special boy.
It's also just like, would I rather be doing that or streaming? You know? Is Town of Nowhere Season 2 coming back at any point? My depression is actually getting better, I think, to some degree. But probably not anytime soon. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, like, I generally speaking, when I'm planning out, like, March of the Mice or Town of Nowhere or whatever, it's like, what's like the A plot, B plot, that kind of thing. And it'll probably be a new season, if anything, because it's been so long. Because I don't want people to think that they have to be there. And then I just write characters. Here's the major story events that need to happen, and here Can you look at the thing real quick that I sent you on Tumblr? It's about buildings. Sure, let me try and see if I can see it. The Spy Family game any good? I don't know anything about that. Oh yeah, I like these buildings. These are nice. Yeah. Yeah, this is beautiful, Count Cannoli. The Spy Family game looks cursed. Yeah, let's go do art. Okay. Gonna flick the switch, and we're gonna switch to art, and we can keep talking like this while I'm doing art. Does that sound good? Okay. Let me find the switch to flick. We're doing the thing. Jesus. Yeah, I'm probably going to be taking the next 3 or so days fairly light. Just as an aside, because I think I need like a good day's rest. And I need to get in touch with my my lawyer about that whole situation that happened. Hopefully it's over. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and flick the switch, and then we're going to do art. So people on YouTube, here we go. 3, 2, 1.